round of applause for the UE cheerleaders. Fans, it's now time to welcome to the floor the University of Evansville dance team. The University of Evansville dance team.
Hey fans, glad you could join us here. Aces fans, we are here at the Ford Center for the 2012 Hoopfest. It's about to get underway, introductions getting ready to get started here. And this is an exciting atmosphere at the Ford Center. The dance team, the cheerleading squad just got done. Quite a few fans filing in here. It is Dollar Hot Dog Night, so a great atmosphere overall and a really exciting night for both the men's and women's basketball team for the Evansville Purple Aces. As I said, the introductions getting ready to get started, but we'll go ahead and go through here some of the players for the men's basketball team. Ryan Salvell, a sophomore. Jordan Nelson, also a sophomore at the guard position. Lewis Jones, a senior guard. Troy Taylor, a senior guard. Jalen Moore, a sophomore forward. Colt Ryan, a senior guard. Adam Wing, a freshman guard. Jordan Jarr, redshirt sophomore. Andy Chin, a senior guard. Brandon Williams, a senior guard. Ned Cox, a senior guard. Mac Leeser, a freshman guard. Rokas, a sophomore forward. DJ Ballantine, a freshman. David Howard, also a freshman forward. And Egidius Machavekius, a freshman center.
I'm really glad, Chris, that you tried Egidius' name first.
I did my best with it, but I mean, throughout the season, hopefully by the couple first games, I'll have that down pat.
The women are being introduced now. Let's just introduce the fans to the women's squad. As they introduced, is freshman Laura Friday is the first one out. As all the freshmen are coming out. Well, freshman and Mallory Ladd.
Mallory Ladd, a sophomore forward, just being introduced to us. Michaela Pro, a freshman forward from Crown Point, Indiana.
Coaches are really high on Michaela. They like her length, and we'll get to see that here in the exhibition.
Christian Hart, a redshirt sophomore guard, and Tom, you just talked about it. It's a great atmosphere, not only for the fans, but for the players to get out, get a chance to compete in front of some people, and the coaches really like to see them in an atmosphere like this besides that practice atmosphere they're used to.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot better to get them on the floor and see how they can go with a crowd and under the lights. I mean, that's one of those things you never know, is both Julianne Moore and Kat Taylor coming out in front of the crowd here. But, you know, that's one of those things. You just never know how someone's going to react when you throw the lights on and put them out on the big floor. So that's why an event like this is nice to have. A few thousand fans in attendance as well. So hopefully it'll be a fun and interactive environment.
Right,
as well.
fun for the players to get out of that practice atmosphere and get things going. As Miranda Lyles, a junior forward, gets introduced here. I believe Miranda is on the injured list. I think she has an injured foot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, she's in a boot right now. It'll be interesting to see. Miranda obviously had a huge impact on things last year as she was able to emerge into the starting lineup as Megan Collins is introduced before the crowd here now. But, you know, you look, this women's team is really going to rely heavily on some of their upperclassmen here.
Right.
You got Miranda, you got Megan Collins, Chelsea Falkenstein's back, Samantha Heck, who's being introduced right now. I mean, those are going to be key players for this team because there's a lot of experience on the inside. It's on the outside, on the perimeter, where this team is a little young, and there's some question marks that OT Seps is hoping to have answered pretty quickly.
Right, and you talked about Chelsea Falkenstein. She's someone who is a redshirt senior. She had to sit out all last year, kind of missed her senior year, so you know that she's edging on the edge of her seat to try to get back in the lineup and play basketball again for the Purple Aces.
Well, and that's one of those things, you know, Chelsea was a member of that team that went to the NCAA tournament in 2009, so that's going to be one of those things where, you know, for such a young squad, you know, there are some juniors, are some seniors here, but they're still relatively inexperienced in terms of number of minutes played.
Right.
So it's going to be one of those things where they can turn to Chelsea and be like, hey, look, we need, you know, just some senior leadership here. We need to rally the troops. And as you note, I mean, as a senior on the baseball team now, I mean, you know how important it is to have good senior leadership.
Yes, it is. And another senior on this women's squad is Samantha Heck, who Samantha is coming off another phenomenal junior year, and I'm really interested to see how she plays this year because she was such a threat at that forward center position for the Aces last year, and I really think she could have another breakout year for the Aces.
Well, I know talking to head coach O.T. Seps, he feels like Samantha is one of the top post players in the Missouri Valley Conference. You know, unfortunately last year with the team struggling to a 5-25 record, she probably didn't get the due around the league that she deserved, but it's one of those things where they hope with everyone coming back, a good nucleus back, and then also some exciting freshman players coming in that, you know, Sam can really emerge out of the shadows and be one of those top players around the Missouri Valley Conference.
Right. And now that we've met all the women's players for the Aces here, I think the men's team should be getting ready to get introduced here. I think we're introducing a couple trainers and assistant coaches for the women's team, and then the men's team should be coming out here shortly.
Well, I think right now they're going through the managers for the men's team, which, of course, with Daryl Benty, that could be a whole team in itself.
That could be a whole squad. He does a great job, though, for all the athletes. Really, really nice person. If you haven't met Daryl, he is a wonderful human being, a very, very nice man. So, but again, this is just one of those nights where everything's exciting. It's really just about to kind of please the crowd, get the crowd into things, give them a preview of what they're going to be seeing this coming basketball season.
Yeah, the guy introduced right now, DJ Ballantyne, is a guy we're probably going to see a lot of. He is an exciting freshman, 6'2" out of Kokomo. They have really high hopes for him this year, as Ballantyne has been picked in some various services as one of the top impact freshmen, not only in the conference but in the country, as a guy to keep an eye on. As both David Howard and Mike Leisure being introduced here now. Mike is a walk-on, 6'3" from Mount Prospect, Illinois. David Howard's a guy, too, that we could see a lot from, as he's 6'8", very wide body, as is the man being introduced right now, Egidius Moxkevicius.
Well, actually, it's funny you talk about David Howard. I was talking to Colt Ryan a couple weeks ago, and he was really, really excited about David Howard. He thinks that his presence down low is something that they haven't really had here on the Evansville men's program for quite some time, that person they can really dish it down low to and get some production out of the paint. So he's really, really excited to see what David Howard can do.
Well, I was going to say, for Colt Ryan, he's probably really excited to see David Howard and Agidius come onto the scene, as it will make defenses be true to Colt when he's out on the perimeter, and he won't be able to have to go up against not only the 6'5" guy who's guarding him, but also a 6'8", 6'9" guy who swings over and tries to make life tough on Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, will really, really make things better for Colt being able to dish down low and maybe get a kick-out pass around the three-point line like he likes to do. As Jalen Moore gets introduced, Jalen saw some limited time last year, but again, Jalen's a pretty big human being, 6'7" sophomore from Olive Branch, so we'll see if he gets some more minutes this year. They really would like, again, a threat down low. We talked about David Howard, but really it's kind of next man up type of atmosphere, philosophy for the men's team to see who's going to fit in the starting lineup.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, we've talked about Howard and Gideus and also Jalen Moore's progression. That makes life on the guy who just was introduced a little easier as well, Ryan Sawville. Talking to Ryan, talking to the coaches, they feel like his natural position is more at the 4 spot, not the 5.
Right.
And if guys like Jalen and Gideus and David can step up and take that 5 role, then that allows Sawville to switch over. Now all of a sudden, instead of being a team of 1 big and 4 guards, you got 6'8" and 6'9" in the same lineup.
Right. As Ned Cox, a senior, gets introduced. Ned, a pivotal part of this team the past few years. It is his senior year, so we'll be looking for him not only to produce on the court, but also that leadership role that I think he's starting to move into for these men's aces.
Well, and Ned's a guy, we've seen it throughout his Evansville career. He can get hot like anyone in this conference, and when he's on, he's a double-figure scorer and an all-Missouri Valley Conference performer. So, as is the man who's being introduced right now, Colt Ryan.
Right. And Colt's one of those guys who I guess you could call him the catalyst of this team. Everything is run through him. He is a senior this year. Last year, second in the conference, I believe, in scoring behind McDermott from Creighton. But, again, another guy that when he's hot, he's tough to stop.
He really is. Even though Evansville lost in their final time here on the court against Princeton, he put on an exhibition unlike any other against the Tigers, as he at one point was 11 of 12 from the floor. He was barely touching the net on the way through, as he put up over 30 points against the Tigers. And that's one of those things that if he gets hot, just feed him the ball and, like you said, be that catalyst. Drive the engine and allow Evansville to exceed through him.
Right. And that wraps it up for the men's team. Now they're introducing some assistant coaches. I'm sure Coach Marty Simmons, the head coach of the men's team, again, is looking forward to watching his guys, because when you're in practice and you're scrimmaging, you kind of get into a comfortable mode and things aren't as exciting because you're doing the same thing over and over again. This is a chance to see the people, all your players in front of fans, and see how they react and see how they compete in an atmosphere like this.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, really, here for the coaches and the teams. Sure, they want to put on a show for the fans and stuff like that, but the coaches really want to see how their guys respond here today, because as you talked about, the men have only been going for a week now. The women have been going for 3 weeks, though, of beating on each other, and there's only so much time that you can beat each other up in a practice facility before teams and players start to go stir crazy. They need to get out. They need to get out in front of fans, in front of the band, in front of the cheerleaders. They need to feel that game-type atmosphere, and this is one event that allows them to see that just a little bit. Of course, we're going to have some fun first, though, I think. I believe there's going to be a 3-point shootout and slam dunk competition, so it should be fun times had by all. But I know the coaches, they've been salivating all day to try to see what their teams can do here on the court at Ford Center.
And Tom, you just mentioned it, Aces fans, we should have a very, very exciting and fun night here at the Ford Center, as we have, I think on the schedule, a 3-point contest, a slam dunk contest, and then again the scrimmage between the men's and women's teams respectively. So it should be a fun night for the players, fun night for the fans, and just a great atmosphere to kind of kick off the 2012-2013 basketball season.
And the cheerleaders going through the final notes of the fight song right now. Of course, things a little different here this year as well, as the longtime voice of the Purple Aces, Mr. John McCauley, fortunately passed away in the offseason. Of course, our thoughts are always with the McCauley family. But Tommy Mason is getting his first time to go through a full run-through. Although Tommy has been the on-court promotions guy for the university as well. And now they're talking about a dance-off.
Oh,
I
wow.
I didn't know about that. Are you leaving our broadcast first here to go down and?
No, I won't be in this one, but this is new. But again, this is all about pleasing the crowd. So let's see if any of our guys do have any moves here.
Let's see. It's Jordan Jar versus Mallory Ladd. I'm going to have to go with Mallory on this one if I had to handicap it. Oh, Mallory.
The question I have is I wonder how they got chosen to do this. If they drew the short end of the stick or they volunteered themselves, who knows?
You know what? Knowing Jordan and Mallory, they may have volunteered themselves for this one. Let's see what kind of moves Miss Ladd has. She's definitely trying to play to the crowd.
Oh, yep. She's trying to be a crowd pleaser out there. All of her teammates are loving it, staying behind her, clapping her on.
And, of course, you would think if anyone has the home court advantage here, it's Mallory, being a native of Evansville.
Yes, you'd think the fans would be behind her, but pretty good performance there from Mallory. Let's see what Jordan Jar brings to the table here.
Now, see, the team all rallied around him when he left the bench, so this should get a little interesting. Oh, boy. Here we go. Does it surprise you that Jordan Jar knows Gangnam Style?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, now see.
Now he's reeling in Andy Chin now with the fish hook.
Now it's getting out of control as Mallory's bringing other teammates involved as well.
All right, let's see who our winner is on our crowd.
Well, hopefully they can play basketball as well as they can dance right there.
Let's hope.
Wow, see there, Mallory, obviously the home court
pretty
advantage.
good applause there for Mallory. I don't know. That's pretty close. That's splitting hairs.
That is good.
I do believe our men's program won tonight. One more time, though. Wait a minute. One more time. Mallory Ladd, the Lady Aces. I'll make sure I got this right. And Jordan Jar, our men's program.
Yeah, I think Jordan from the applause
I think
meter.
the men are going to go 1-0 on the first event.
You'll get them next year, I promise you.
And that's the one that I think both teams were really hoping to win tonight.
I think the coaches were really concerned with that event.
Yes,
so.
yes, they were.
One contest tonight, also a dunk contest.
I think we're going to have the three-point contest first.
Now, I'm interested to see how they do this. The past couple of years, they've done it a little differently. The men have paired up with a woman from the Lady Aces to see kind of back and forth who can combine for the most points. I don't know if this year we'll do kind of more of a one-on-one format. We'll just have to wait and see as they both teams take into their layup lines and get warmed up for the afternoon.
Obviously, you got to let them warm up here. You know, that's the last thing you want to have happen is anyone get injured in a situation like this.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, with the men taking the early lead in the dance competition, you know, the ladies,
they've got some catching up to do.
They do have some catching up to do, so it should be interesting. But, you know, you talk about all the excitement here, Chris. This really is like the kickoff.
Right.
The unofficial kickoff for the season. And, you know, this is a season that a lot of folks have been talking about around town. They're very high on this men's squad. A lot of people consider this to be Marty Simmons' best men's team in his time here at Evansville. And, you know, when you look, I mean, it starts with the seniors, but all through, every single one of these classes can really bring something to the table for Marty Simmons' squad.
And, Tom, I think you just touched on it. You know, it's one of those things where Marty Simmons has a lot of senior leadership and experience on the court. You look at Lewis Jones, who's a senior, who's gotten quite a few minutes in the past 3 years. Troy Taylor, who's played point guard for the Aces since his freshman year. We talked about Colt Ryan and how he's the catalyst of this team. We also talked about Ned Cox. He's a senior as well. So a lot of seniors on this squad that really, they're going to kind of play through them and see how things go. So it's kind of the sky is the limit for the Aces this year, especially in conference play.
Well, that's what the Aces hope. The Aces were able to finish in that logjam tie for third in the Missouri Valley Conference, and looking through a lot of the different publications, you're seeing anywhere from third to fifth really is where Evansville falls in. And obviously, you look around the league, Creighton is probably head and shoulders above everyone else,
right,
with nearly everyone back. But really after that, Wichita State lost a lot from last year, while Northern Iowa returns a lot and had a nice little run at the end of the year. They're still always a question mark. Anthony James has been suspended at the start of the season there, so you just wonder how the chemistry is going to be affected. So, it will be interesting in the Missouri Valley Conference this year.
It should. And if looking at the schedule for the men's team, their first game is an exhibition game on October 27th against Southern Indiana. Their first actual game is actually at Notre Dame, so that should be an exciting time for these guys to go into South Bend and get to play in front of all the Fighting Irish. But really the first Missouri Valley Conference matchup is December 29th, it looks like, against Creighton at Creighton. So, it's not like
welcome to the Valley.
Welcome to the Valley play, exactly. We talked about McDermott. He's back again, and, it's one of those things where they don't really get to ease into the Valley. They get the heart and soul of the conference right away. So they hopefully will be ready to go, and with their couple games before that, they do have Butler before that, so Butler always puts together a pretty good squad. So hopefully those games leading up will get them prepared for Valley play.
Well, that's what you want to do with your non-conference schedule, is be ready to go come conference play time. And, looking at the schedule for the men, you got a road game at Notre Dame. I know a lot of people, they look at that Coaches versus Cancer, and they're like Buffalo, Yale, Western Illinois. But you got to remember, every single one of those teams saw postseason play last year. So you're talking the first 5 games are against teams that all went to postseason play. And then after a game against Alabama A&M here at home, you get Colorado State, Miami of Ohio, and Murray State within a 1-week time period.
Yep.
That happens to coincide with finals as well here at the University of Evansville.
Right.
So that right there. I look at their non-conference schedule, and I circle that week as really one of the most important weeks, because you got a Colorado State team that last year was in the NCAA tournament, in fact got knocked off by Murray State. Murray State gets everybody back. That's going to be a tough week for this men's squad. And
I think you touched on it too. Again, Murray State, December 8th, that's a big game. Murray State was, had a Cinderella-type season last year, had a great run. But when you look at the conference overall, you see Creighton, Northern Iowa, Wichita State, Indiana State, Bradley. Really, this isn't a conference that you can take lightly. It's not you can't compare it to the Big East or anything like that, but it's a tough conference, and there's a lot of good teams really in the conference, and I don't see any teams that are really kind of hand me over games. Every game's going to be competitive in conference, and it's really up for grabs, though, for who's going to win the conference this year.
Well, and that's one of those things that, you look at it, and, some people are looking at mid-major basketball. They're all looking to the A-10 right now because of how great,
Xavier
Butler's been, Xavier,
right.
Everything like that. Well, you know what? The Missouri Valley Conference was the 7th-ranked conference in America last year. You take out the BCS teams and a good Mountain West, the A-10, and the Aces, or Missouri Valley Conference was right in there. So it's one of those things where, like you said, there are no gimmies. And I know you know it more than I do, just going through as an athlete playing college baseball. Just like on the basketball side, college baseball, Valley's one of the best as well.
Right.
And there really are no off nights.
No off nights, and every single basketball and baseball both. There's every given night anybody can be beat in those two sports. So the layup lines are done. We're getting ready. I think again the 3-point shootout should be coming up first. I don't know who our participants are yet from each squad. I'm sure we'll find that out here in a second, and we'll see the format, and we'll let you know kind of how we're going to be doing things. I know that in the past couple of years, Colt Ryan's been in this competition, but I'd almost feel like that wouldn't be fair to have him out there. But he's because that is his strength.
Well, it looks like Katie Ellerson is the first one from the women's side. She is a knock-dead shooter, and of course Jordan Nelson, you would expect him to be in as well.
Yep.
Megan Collins, outstanding from 3 last year for the Missouri Valley Conference, for the women's side on the Missouri Valley Conference. Now Jordan Jarr.
So it looks like we are going to have a team format. So Katie Ellerson, Jordan Nelson, Megan Collins, Jordan Jarr, and I believe that's Christian Hart who just came out.
Yeah, Christian Hart and
with Colt Ryan. So it's going to be a team format. Both shooters will be on either end and shoot, and we'll see how many three-pointers they hit at the end, a cumulative score between the three teams.
Well, I'll tell you, if I'm a betting man right now, Team 1, Nelson and Ellerson, they're the one I'm putting my money on right
they're
now.
Both spot-up shooters for ladies and men's aces team, and they are up first, Katie Ellerson and Jordan Nelson. As they get started on their first rack here, Nelson knocks down his first.
Ellerson hasn't even hit the rim, I don't think. She just did there. She missed just her first.
Well, we saw him shoot layups. We really didn't see him shoot any jumpers, so I wonder how loose they are for these jump shots.
Ellerson able to hit from the top twice. Nelson able to hit the money ball as well.
10 seconds remaining on the clock. Down to 5.
Nelson able to hit the money balls. Ellerson unable to do so. Be interesting to see what that team total was.
Team 1, their total 16 points.
16
points for the first team. That's respectable score.
Both replaced. Megan Collins.
Jordan Jarr and Megan Collins getting set to go now. So the score to beat right now is 16 as they get started on their first rack. So far, both have yet to hit Jordan. Actually, they both just hit their third ball there. Both missed the money ball in the first rack. On to the second rack now from the top of the key. Again, 16 is the score to beat. 15 seconds remaining. As they both make their way to the final and third rack.
Both having problems with that money ball as well, which could come back to haunt them.
And the money ball is clutch. Jarr knocks down the money ball in the corner. Collins does not, so let's see what their score is.
I think it would be hard-pressed to top that Team 1 total right now.
That is 16 is a good score.
13
points for Team 2. So Team 1 in the driver's seat as Colt Ryan and Christian Hart are the last team to go. Score to beat is 16 by Jordan Nelson and Katie Ellerson.
35 seconds on the clock. Ready, set, go.
And they both get started on their first rack. Colt Ryan knocks down 2 in a row. He's somebody you may have to keep an eye on, as we all know how good he is from outside.
Of course, he doesn't get open looks like this too often,
no,
so you just
he's
wonder,
probably not used to it.
Exactly. No. He's probably going to ask Andy Hageman to come guard him.
And they're to their final racks. I don't know if they have enough. They may have to go perfect here to beat that score of 16.
Wow, I think Colt just threw up an air ball.
He struggled with that final rack. I don't know if he made one of those.
I have a feeling Team 1 took
Team
this title.
1, good call by you. Went with your pick.
Team number 3's total 4 points.
4 points.
4 points.
Oh, I think somebody miscounted there. It seemed like they made more than that.
I thought they did too, but Team 1 takes it. That's Jordan Nelson and Katie Ellerson. So they take the first event, which is the 3-point competition. And we'll see what's next on the agenda here. The ladies team is huddling up. I don't know if...
I think the ladies are going to go first, and then we're probably going to have the dunk contest, and then the men.
So the ladies will be inter-squatting. We'll get ready to get started here. I think the inter-squat is supposed to last 10 minutes. So 10-minute inter-squat as the ladies take the floor. Again, this is a great time for Coach Epps to watch his ladies in action. No coaching really, just a couple things here and there, and see your ladies come out there and compete and see how they do without that practice format and how they do in front of fans. So really, really excited to get a little preview of the 2012-2013 Lady Aces.
Well, and the other thing, too, is I'm sure Otis Epps wants to see how some of his players who were injured last year are able to come out. I know Chelsea Falkenstein, she missed a majority of the time last year. Christian Hart had to redshirt. Kat Taylor as well. As they gave Otis Epps a mic. Oh, boy.
And Coach Epps, he's one of those coaches, if you haven't met him, he is very, very animated on the sidelines. He gets into it every single game. He is sweating when he is done because it's almost like he ran a mile over there on the bench. So very, very enthusiastic coach for the Lady Aces.
Kat Taylor, one of those players who's coming off injury, out there as well, as Coach Epps already calling out plays. Katie Ellerson just misses the three there, and now the orange team gets their first look at the basket.
Sounds like Coach Epps is mic'd up. This is a new thing for Hoopfest, so we get to hear all his play calls and all the things he's yelling to the ladies to kind of give an idea of what they're trying to do on the floor here. This Team Orange takes it out for the Lady Aces. Christian Hart from the three, and just barely off the mark. Samantha Heck with the rebound. She kicks it back up to the top of the key. Over again, Hart again for three. And this time she knocks it down for Team Orange.
Well, she got that extra practice during the three-point shootout. Wasn't able to hit too many there, but nailed that three. And, Christian's going to be a real key for this women's team. She can fill it up.
Good look there by Megan Collins. Good rebound there by Mallory Ladd. Just off the mark, she gets it back again in the paint, puts it up, and gets called for traveling there. Remove that pivot foot. Good effort there to get her own board down low, but just took too many steps down low.
And I think that's what Mallory Ladd is really going to give this team, a really strong low body presence, as she is a beast on the boards, averaged a double-double her senior year at Memorial, was well on her way to doing that at Valparaiso before deciding to come back to Evansville.
Good take there by Taylor Brand, just off the mark again. Another nice rebound by Mallory Ladd, and Team Purple's pushing it up court to Megan Collins, inside to Katie Ellerson. Good defense there by Christian Hart to knock it away. Katie Ellerson for three from the elbow, just off the mark. Good rebound there by Chelsea Falkenstein, and Team Orange will retain possession.
Now, as a player, if you mic'd up Wes Carroll and you heard him in the PA speakers, how distracting would that be?
It'd be tough to play with all that he'd have to say to us, but it's Christian Hart again knocks down a three from the top of the key, and you just on cue, you just talked about how clutch she was going to be and how she can fill it up, and the first 6 points so far for Team Orange have gone to Christian Hart.
Well, and that's going to be one of those things, hearing what Coach Otis Epps has said in the offseason, he says Christian Hart is going to be one of those players that they really try to go through on offense, and she can definitely do it. She averaged over 20 points a game in high school, had a solid freshman year, just was battling shin splints.
As Mallory Ladd knocks down a three-pointer, so Mallory Ladd, a forward, hitting a three. Usually don't see a forward outside shooting, but she drained that one, nothing but net, to narrow this game to three, as Christian Hart has it in the corner. And again, you talked about Christian Hart, and it's really nice also for Samantha Heck, as she's a presence down low, and now she has someone to kick it out to when she does get double-teamed and the defense sucks to her down low, as she drains a three from the elbow. So far, nothing but three-pointers for the Lady Aces in this game. 9-3 is the score. Team Orange leads.
Well, anytime you can get your 6'2 center to be able to pop out and hit a three, that's a nice little advantage to have, as there was a near giveaway there, but what goes off Samantha Heck, so it'll stay with the purple team. It's 9-3 Orange here with 6:28 to go, as the clock, a running clock here today at the Ford Center.
Kat Taylor taking it out for Team Purple. Again, 9-3 with 6:17 remaining. Team Orange leads. Kat Taylor taking it out for Team Purple underneath her basket. Kicks it out to Julianne Moore. Moore up top to Megan Collins. Megan Collins for three, just off the mark. Team Purple fighting for it. Good save there by Kat Taylor to get it into Mallory Ladd. Taylor with the jumper, just off the mark, and Taylor Brand with the rebound for Team Orange.
Wow, that's a little unfair for Laura Friday, the freshman point guard. When the coach is mic'd up and he's yelling, "Look up," I think the defense knows what's coming.
Right. Good look by Moore there, but good defense there by Kat Taylor for Team Purple, as Christian Hart takes it up top for Team Orange, getting things set up. Gets a pick from Chelsea Falkenstein at the top of the key. Falkenstein from the top of the key for three, just off the mark, and Mallory Ladd with the rebound. So far, Mallory Ladd with a couple of rebounds in this one, doing a nice job down low boxing out.
Yeah, unofficially, I have her for 5 already, and if you can grab 5 rebounds in 5 minutes,
that's saying something.
Coaches will take that.
Again, 9-3 the score. Team Orange leads. Megan Collins for three in the corner, just off the mark. Julianne Moore with the rebound. She's dribbling in down low, about a 3-footer, and she knocks it down. 9-5 our score. Team Orange still leads with 5 minutes remaining in this inter-squad scrimmage at the 2012 Hoop Fest.
Jillianne Miller is a player that Coach Epps is high on as well. She was somebody who was injured her senior year in high school, came in just a little slow, but she finished the year strong, and if she can add that kind of bulldog-type mentality that she played with last year, she can bring a lot to this Evansville team.
And the thing I like about the Lady Aces team, we're talking about it now, is it's almost like the St. Louis Cardinals, that next man up attitude. Really, there's not a real starting five that we may see every single game. Every single one of these girls is going to see time at some point this season, so it's kind of when you get your chance, how are you going to do with your opportunity?
Yeah, and that's really the key. And again, there are a lot of question marks just because you have 3 or 4 players that are either transfers or coming off injury, as Megan Collins a strong take but can't finish. But, how do those players come back from injury? How do the new faces, intertwine? I mean, you got Laura Friday at a point guard, Mallory Ladd, post player. Those are some key spots to bring in new players.
Right. As Team Orange has the ball again, 9-5 the score. Team Orange leads with 3:50 remaining. Samantha Heck with the ball at the elbow. Gives it back up top to Christian Hart. Shot clock winding down. Hart from the free throw line. Airballs that one, but Mallory Ladd can't quite get the handles on it, so Team Orange is going to retain possession underneath their own basket.
And that's about the only thing that Mallory Ladd hasn't grabbed cleanly here today so far. She's been a beast on the board so far.
Yes, she has. She's done a nice job down low getting the boards, and I think actually this one's going to stay with Team Purple. For inter-squad purposes, really, you can kind of flex the rules a little bit. It's just to kind of get looks for different situations and things. It's whatever Coach Epps really wants to see out of his team. As Julianne Miller has the ball on the elbow, she dribbles up top, gives it to Kat Miller on the elbow, down low to Megan Collins. Megan Collins goes up strong and gets fouled, so she will go to the line now, shooting 2 for Team Purple with 2:58 remaining. Team Purple trails Team Orange 9-5.
And that was smart offense there by Team Purple because of the fact that they ran a little pick play. Orange switched, and that meant that Christian Hart was trying to guard Megan Collins, and anytime you can get that mismatch for Evansville, where you got a 6'1" Collins going up against a 5'7" Christian Hart,
right?
You're going to want to get that ball inside and take advantage.
Right. You're going to like your chances down low when you've got that height differential. As Megan Collins knocks down the second of 2 free throws. The score now 9-7. Team Orange still leads. Ball in Samantha Heck's hands over in the elbow, down low to Christian Hart from the elbow. She misses from 3. Taylor Brand with the rebound, kicks it back up top. Good take right there by Laura Friday, as she's nice finish too. Had some a defender interface, but able to finish down low.
And that's what Laura Friday can really bring to the table. She's a freshman from Marion, Indiana. Just a little spark plug, great point guard. As on the other end, Julianne Miller, a nice strong take around Taylor Ware.
Nice cut there by Julianne Miller and Kat Taylor. Good pass, finding her cutting across the lane for the easy 2. As Team Orange leads now 11-9 with 2:12 remaining in this inter-squad scrimmage. Laura Friday with the ball at the elbow. Gives it up top to Samantha Heck. Samantha Heck for 3 from the top, off the front of the iron. Julianne Miller with the rebound. She brings it up for Team Purple. As Coach Epps wants them to slow things up, set up the offense, work on the offense a little bit in this inter-squad.
Well, it's weird to hear Coach actually call out plays on a mic. I mean, you can always hear him on the sidelines.
But he is very, very distinct today as Megan Collins goes up. Good take there. Good find by Kat Taylor, and good big man move down low by Megan Collins.
And again, Megan was guarded by Christian Hart, so they went right after that matchup. And smart basketball there by the Purple Aces.
So far, a pretty competitive game, 11-11, as Team Orange launches another 3. Team Orange is loving the three-pointer today. Finding, getting open looks, and knocked down the first few, but kind of gone cold here as of late, as the score is 11-11 with 1:15 remaining. Team Purple, Kat Taylor has the ball at the top of the key, setting up this offense. Dribbles over to the elbow, gets a pick from Mallory Ladd, swings it up top to Katie Ellerson, and she gives it down low to Ladd. Ladd with about a 6-footer just off the mark. Good rebound there by Chelsea Falkenstein, and Team Orange has possession with 55 seconds remaining in the center squad. Good defense there by Mallory Ladd and Julianne Miller as Team Purple gets the ball right back. And Kat Taylor bringing the ball up for Team Purple.
And OT Sepp's got a little fired up by that play right there.
He did. He liked that defense. He loves defense, and anytime the girls make a good play on defense, he's all over it. Team Orange now with the ball side out. 35 seconds remaining in this inter-squad, 11-11. Pretty competitive game, and I'm sure Coach Epps likes to see that the girls are out here competing and wanting to win, even though it is an inter-squad, and you could maybe take it lightly. They're still competing as Christian Hart launches a three from the top of the key. Off the mark, Mallory Ladd, where we heard her name before, with another rebound.
Well, I was going to say, how many times have you said Christian Hart for three and Mallory Ladd with the rebound?
Mallory Ladd doing a nice job of locating the basketball and making sure she gets both hands on it. Kat Taylor bringing the ball up for Team Purple, gives it to Megan Collins in the corner. Down low to Ladd. Good pass from Collins. Good finish there by Ladd as the clock is winding down, and that'll do it. So almost like a game-winning field goal there for Mallory Ladd and Team Purple as they win this one 13-11 in this 2012 Hoopfest Inter-Squad.
And how about Purple rallying from a 9-3 deficit early on as Christian Hart hot early, but then Mallory Ladd able to rally. And, you know, for Evansville fans are probably excited because you're talking Hart, you're talking Ladd, you're talking Evansville, because both those ladies are from the town. A lot of tri-state talent on this squad is for the ladies that were out there from the tri-state area. Ladd and Falkenstein from Memorial, Hart from Harrison, and then Megan Collins from Boonville. So,
when talking about Ladd, Falkenstein, and Hart, those are all three girls that we didn't see last year on the court. So a lot of new faces too for some of these fans as well. And all three of those girls played really well in that inter squad, especially Ladd. We talked about with the rebounds and then that game-winning basket there to give Team Purple the win 13-11. So Coach Epps has to like what he sees there. A competitive game out of the two teams, and Team Purple barely edges out Team Orange as the men's basketball team now set up for layup lines. And then I think we go into the slam dunk competition, which for all the fans and all the kids, that's the event that everybody really, really enjoys watching.
Yeah, that's the one that'll be really interesting to watch, too, to see first who represents the men. I mean, obviously, if Ned Cox and Troy Taylor aren't in there,
right,
I don't even know why we're having it. But at the same time, you know, who else is going to challenge these guys?
Well, I know that, you know, Ned Cox the past couple years has been the dominant one in this competition. He's a guy that he can jump out of the gym, but also Lewis Jones is a guy that he can get up there. He has great athleticism, and I was talking to him before actually about whether or not he was going to be in this, and he joked with me and said, "Man, I'm getting old." But so as he is a senior, but I think that he has a good chance in this competition. And again, it's just to get the fans riled up. I don't know if they're going to do an actual slam dunk type format where fans cheer or there's voting or anything like that. Last year I know they just kind of did some dunks and everybody just went one at a time and kind of got the crowd into it. So we'll have to wait and see what the format is. But again, most of these guys on this team, I think almost everyone, maybe a few, can't dunk, but it should be an exciting event.
Well, I know that last year Ned Cox gave Colt Ryan a hard time because Colt was able to throw one down and Ned was like, "Colt, is that the first time you dunked?" Because they always give Colt a hard time about not being able to throw it down. As now we're starting to see some lob passes from guys. It'll be interesting to see. You know, DJ Ballantyne could be a guy that we see in this. Ryan Sobel threw it down hard right there. Of course, Ryan's also 6'8".
Right, right. He's got a little bit of an advantage. The person that I love watching, and you mentioned his name earlier, is 6-foot senior Troy Taylor. I mean, for a 6-foot guy, he gets up there, you know, and throws it down with some of the best of them. So he's a very exciting guy to watch, and he's one of those guys too. Last year, you know, led the team, I believe, in rebounding, and he's a 6-foot guard. You don't see that out of a guard leading your team in rebounding, and he was one of the top rebounders actually in the country, averaging I think somewhere around 12 or 11 rebounds a game. So he's a guy he's a hustle type of guy, real scrappy type of player, and he's exciting to watch.
Well, it's one of those things when your point guard can touch the top of the square, not too many guys,
right,
not too many teams can do that. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see. The other thing, too, is, you know, you're talking Ned Cox, you're talking Troy Taylor, you're talking DJ Ballantyne. All three of those guys got a little swagger to them as well.
Yep.
And they like to have a little fun. So the slam dunk competition could be really interesting. I heard actually our good friend Bryce Weiler may be involved with Ned Cox
Oh, okay. That
got
could
a
be
little
exciting.
insight knowledge yesterday during the rain delay at the men's soccer match.
A lot of the dunk competition isn't just whether or not you can throw it down. Creativity and uniqueness, and you talked about that swagger and just getting the fans involved. That plays a big part in slam dunk competitions, especially if you watch like the NBA slam dunk competition. They're always thinking of new things, like Blake Griffin jumping over Kia.
Yeah.
Things like that are the things that really the fans like to see. And so if he does get Bryce involved, those are something that can kind of get these people on their feet here at the Ford Center.
Yeah, Bryce was talking about he was a little worried they were going to actually have to practice the toss, which obviously for Bryce that's legitimate.
Right.
As I saw him earlier shooting free throws.
So we have 6 minutes on the clock, it sounds like.
And it looks like it is going to be a full team.
Full team. As Lou tries to off the backboard one-handed. Colt Ryan up for a dunk. Oh, throws it down left-handed. Kind of an in-your-face there, Ned Cox.
I think that's what he was saying, too. Ooh. There's Ned Cox saying, how about that, Mr. Ryan?
With a 360 there as Troy Taylor throws it off the backboard. A little bit too high. Troy got a little overzealous there. We'll see who's up next. Looks like Ryan Salvell has something brewing. Oh, he tried the two ball dunk with the assist from Andy Chin. Able to get the first one, not able to get the second one. You wonder if these guys have these planned out before they get here. These are the dunks that I want to try to attempt.
Well, I think Ned Cox just has like a Rolodex.
He's able to jump to the rafters when he goes. As Jalen Moore, was able to do a little windmill action. Troy Taylor with the off the backboard two-handed dunk.
I still would like to see, back in the day in Hoopfest, they used to have, you'd choose 3 players and then you had a panel of judges.
Right.
That would go through it, a la the NBA. And Colt Ryan trying to get athletic and challenge Ned Cox.
Show the people he can sky a little bit. It's Troy Taylor. I believe, that is Troy Taylor with the baseline behind the back dunk there. Jalen Moore setting up with Ryan Salvell off the side of the backboard, and Moore with the two-handed dunk.
Let's see, I think that was Ned Cox who was going over talking to Coach Elgis.
Probably making sure he can do a dunk and get the okay to do one of his dunks, make sure he doesn't get hurt. As DJ Valentine, the first we've seen of him, he tried the off the backboard two-handed.
He's got some leap, though.
He does. He is a
really
long
sprung
player.
off the floor right there. Oh.
Ned Cox 3 for 3 on all his dunks so far.
Yeah, I think Ned Cox is the leader at the clubhouse right now. Because he's not only are these pretty impressive dunks, he's making these dunks look easy.
Yes, he is. Oh, Troy tried the off the backboard windmill there. Little tough. Salvell with the lob. Oh, Andy Chin launched that one just a bit high.
Yeah, that one was not on Salvell. I don't think Minute Bowl could have brought that one down.
I don't think anybody could have got that one.
I can't do what Ned Cox just did on a 4-foot hoop.
On a Fisher Price.
I know. And trust me, I got a 3-year-old at home. I've been practicing. All right, what's Jalen Moore going to bring out the foreign object a la the WWE, or what's going on here?
2 minutes and 23 seconds for these guys to get in all their tricks if they've got any left in the bag. I'm sure Ned Cox is going to give us to finish his famous between-the-legs dunk that we've seen in years past as he's taking off his warm-up.
Yeah, anytime Ned Cox takes off the warm-up, then you know.
He means business.
Yes.
So.
Now, of course, it'll be interesting to see if he can hit it because he had problems last year with it.
He did. He took a couple tries, finally got it, I think, on the second or third try. Oh, Salville going up and just throwing that one off the backboard.
There it was.
He tried it, just couldn't get quite a grip on it.
And, of course, you know, there is some rivalry here, the UE-USI rivalry, as I saw a YouTube link where Kenyon Smith of USI was able to throw that dunk down. So it'll be interesting to see if Ned can do the same thing for UE with that game just a week away.
A little trash talking, I'm sure, will be involved with that game with the crosstown rival. Just a little bit, maybe. Couldn't quite get a grip, as that's his second try for Ned Cox with the between the legs. I'm sure we'll probably see about one more. DJ Valentine with the two-handed explosion dunk. Troy Taylor just continues to keep going.
Come on, Troy.
Ryan Salvo with the two-handed alley-oop from Andy Chin from the three-point line. Colt Ryan going to give it another whirl. And he goes with the windmill there.
There you go.
We didn't see that in years past. Colt Ryan, maybe a little athleticism added to his arsenal this year.
Well, I'm sure Colt's going to go over and talk to Ned and be like, Ned, did you see that? In fact, he's talking to him right now. Did you see that? Yeah.
The University of Evansville men's basketball team.
And that'll wrap it up for the slam dunk competition. Again, just a good event for all the fans. Get everybody excited and involved here as give them a little preview of the men's basketball squad as they get set for their inter-squad Team Purple versus Team Orange scrimmage. 10 minutes on the clock. We'll see who's set to play for each team.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the two sides are. I know a lot of the fans are probably interested in seeing that as well.
Right.
Who comes out with who and who works well.
And I'm sure Coach Simmons has tried to split it up so the teams are pretty evenly matched to get a good competitive game going. You wouldn't want to put all your starters on one team and everybody else on another to kind of have a blowout, kind of see who competes and see who wants to lead their squad to a victory here in front of all these Aces fans down at the Ford Center.
Well, and I think really where a lot of eyes are going to be is in the middle.
Right.
Because that's the one.
The big question mark.
The big question mark coming in is what is going to be the mix in the middle. As right now I would have to give Team Purple the advantage in size. As right now both Egidius Makevicius and Ryan Salvo are coming out to start for the Purple squad. In fact, they're so tall they're only going to play four men.
It looks like a 4-on-4 Team Purple versus Team Orange. Looks like Team Orange is Jordan Jarr, Troy Taylor, DJ Valentine, Colt Ryan, and Jalen Moore. Team Purple consists of Jordan Nelson, Ryan Salvell, Ned Cox, Lewis Jones, and Makevicius. Yes, we'll get that name by middle of the season.
Yes.
Team Orange wins the tip as Troy Taylor brings it up and throws it to Jordan Jarr, and Jordan Jarr wasn't looking there, and Team Purple will get the ball. Coach Simmons mic'd up just like Coach Epps was. He's a very, very animated coach as well. Maybe not as much movement, but he is a yeller, and he likes to talk to his team as Jordan Nelson brings it up for Team Purple. Dishes over to Lewis Jones. Lewis Jones from the elbow swings it out. Jordan Nelson for three from the corner, just off the mark. Rebounded by Ryan Salvell for Team Purple. Swings it back up to Ned Cox. Ned Cox will set things up for Team Purple on offense. Over to Lewis Jones from the wing. Back up top to Ned Cox. Setting things up again. Coach probably wants to see his team run the offense as Ned Cox drives. Good take there by Ned Cox to the left side. He is a lefty, so went with his strong hand. Good take, good finish to give Team Purple a 2-0 lead with 9 minutes remaining. Troy Taylor down low to Colt Ryan. Colt Ryan, about an 8-footer, knocks it down.
He looks like he's already in midseason form.
Midseason form with just a hand in the face, and he said, I'll go ahead and bury that one real quick. 2-2 is the score with 8:44 remaining. Ned Cox swings it over to Ryan Salvell at the wing. Salvell with the pass down low, tried to get into Lewis Jones. Good defense there by Colt Ryan. Colt Ryan with the steal for Team Orange. Gives it over to DJ Valentine to Jordan Jarr in the corner for 3. Off the mark, and good rebound there by Machavekius for Team Purple. Gives it up to Ned Cox. Ned Cox slowing things up over to Lewis Jones. Lewis back up top to Ned Cox. Cox gives it over. Salvell over to Lewis Jones from the corner. Tough shot there for Lewis Jones off the mark. Troy Taylor with the rebound. 2-2 is the score with 8 minutes remaining. Down low to Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore with a nice turnaround jumper.
We didn't really see that move last year from Jalen.
We didn't. That was a tough shot over a 6'10" Machavekius too. So good shot there by Jalen Moore. It's a 4-2 lead now for Team Orange as Team Purple and Ned Cox have the ball at the top of the key. Over to Lewis Jones. As Coach Simmons wants to take a timeout and get some subs in. Everybody, of course, is going to get some playing time. He wants to, move things around, see what lineups work, see who plays well and together and who doesn't.
Well, and it looks like David Howard checked in for Gideus Machkevicius, and Adam Wing came in as well. Wing's a good guy I'm interested to see. He's built like a football player. He was a starting quarterback, outstanding quarterback as well. But natural leader, very highly rated coming in, especially in the ESPN Top 100 rankings.
Good athletic build, too, as you talked about that core. I can definitely see the quarterback build in him as he's on Team Purple. Rokas also checked in for Team Orange as Howard down low with a nice big man move. And there's where we talked about the big man down low and Howard. That was a very nice move on Rokas as he's able to tie things up for Team Purple. 4-4 now with 7 minutes remaining and Team Orange at the ball.
Yeah, nice little up and under move there. Reverse pivot spin, then got Rokas up in the air and was able to finish with the left hand.
Jordan Jarr with the ball at the top of the key. Swings it over to DJ Valentine. Valentine back up top to Jordan Jarr. Jarr over to Colt Ryan. Colt Ryan tries to drive baseline. Good pass to DJ Valentine. Good look there by Colt Ryan to find a cutting DJ Valentine on the opposite block.
Yeah, nice job by Valentine to move without the ball right there. Colt Ryan is going to draw those double teams, going to draw a lot of defensive pressure. If you can move without the ball like that, you can get some easy points.
Good hustle there by Colt Ryan on defense. Coach Simmons has to like to see that as Salvell checks back in the game. Looks like for Jordan Jarr. I think he was actually on Team Purple. Looked like he switched his jerseys now. So, again, just wanting to kind of see who works with who as Jordan Nelson has the ball for Team Purple. Ned Cox from the top of the key for 3. Off the mark, Ryan Salvell with the rebound. Coach Simmons wants them to push the ball up the court as Colt Ryan has the ball for Team Orange. 6-4, Orange leads with 5:55 remaining in this inner squad. He gives over to DJ Valentine for 3 from the corner. Good box out there by Adam Wing. Good save and gives it over to Ned Cox. Ned Cox bringing the ball up for Team Purple.
And that's another thing Wing's going to be able to do, I think. He's going to be able to rebound from that guard position just because of how wide his shoulders are.
Right.
Like you said, very athletic build. Definitely a football player's build out there down low for the Aces.
Ned Cox with the ball at the top of the key for Team Purple. Setting things up again. Team Purple not really pushing it as much, kind of setting up their offense. Ned Cox looks to drive, shoots it from the free throw line, knocks it down. Good step back shot there by Ned Cox as he's actually wanting his team to kind of pick up the tempo a little bit on the offensive end. 6-6 is the score with 5 minutes remaining in the center squad. Team Orange with the ball. Rokas with about a 14-footer off the mark. Good hustle there by Colt Ryan, but not able to hold on to it as Team Purple will have the ball now with 4:54 remaining. 6-6 is our score.
Well, we were talking about Colt Ryan being in midseason form. Coach Simmons is in midseason form. He was yelling, box out, box out, box out.
I don't think he's stopped talking since this has started, so he's very, very enthusiastic about this. Shot there by David Howard off the mark. Good rebound by Ryan Salvell. Troy Taylor bringing it up the court for the Orange Aces. Team Orange slowing things up, running their offense. Good take by Troy. Good find down low. Good swing out by DJ Valentine to Salvell from the wing. Good rebound by Rokas. Good hustle play as Colt Ryan's cutting.
Oh!
And Colt Ryan tries to go up top on Ned Cox there. So we talked earlier about the slam dunk contest, and he tried to go over top of Ned Cox as they both laughed that one off a little bit.
I don't think Ned was expecting that either. Colt's got a smile on his face right now.
I don't know if Colt was expecting that. He just kind of rose up over Ned there, and everybody has a good little laugh as we get back to play here with 4 minutes remaining.
If he would have finished that, Ned Cox would have never heard the
Never
end of
lived that one down.
No.
Swing over to Adam Wing from the elbow for three. Good rebound by Colt Ryan. Team Orange with the ball again. 6-6 is our score. 3:45 remaining in the inner squad. Colt Ryan over to DJ Valentine for three in the corner. Off the mark. Believe that'll be off on Salvell there, so Team Purple will get the ball right back.
The only thing there with Valentine that I would have liked to see is him not fade in the air.
Faded out of bounds.
Yeah, he was kind of fading to his left there on that three-point shot. If he just goes upright with that, I think he knocks that shot down.
Jordan Jarr with the ball at the top of the key for Team Purple. Ned Cox swings it back over to Jordan Jarr. Jarr looking to drive at the free throw line, swings it back up top to Ned Cox. Slowing things up, 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 3:09 left in the game clock. Ned Cox with the jumper, not a three-pointer, just inside the line. Off the mark. Troy Taylor with the rebound. Coach Simmons wants him to push, and that's what he does, bringing the ball up court. Now they're slowing things up. Gives it to Colt Ryan at the top of the key. Swings it over to Salvell. Salvell just inside the three-point line. Just off the mark. Good rebound there by Machavekius. As Jordan Nelson brings it up for Team Purple. Over to Jordan Jarr to the baseline. Good take there by Jordan Jarr. Saw that the defense didn't get back quite in time and took advantage of the baseline to give Purple an 8-6 lead now with 2:30 remaining.
And, you know, Jarr's going to be one of those guys. How does he come back from injury? He had that broken foot last year, had to redshirt. A lot of people were expecting big things out of Jordan. He was looking at the beginning of the year like the sixth man for this Aces team.
As Colt Ryan shoots a three and is off the mark. And it's funny that you talk about Jordan Jarr because, honestly, I think Salvell and Jordan Jarr kind of remind me of one another a little bit. And Salvell, as a true freshman last year, kind of filled those shoes a little bit, had a good year. So with both of them back now, it's going to be interesting to see how they do together.
Well, and the other thing, too, is it allows Coach Simmons to go big here, as he could have Jarr play the three, which is the spot we saw him play last year. You saw him play four as a freshman, three a little bit last year, but you could legitimately have a starting five there of Troy Taylor, Colt Ryan, Jordan Jarr, Ryan Salvell, and then one of the other bigs. And you could go, you know, 6 foot with Taylor, but then 6'5" with Ryan, 6'7" with Jarr, 6'8" and 6'9", and you can match up with some of those big front lines that you're going to see.
Right, that's a very, very tall lineup as Mike Leeser, Brandon Williams, and Andy Chin all check into the game now with just under 2 minutes remaining. Team Purple leads 8-6. Another competitive game going on in this inner squad is Jordan Jarr with the jumper from about 14 feet. Good rebound there by Jalen Moore and gives it to Troy Taylor. Coach Simmons, again, wanting his team to push. He's very big on tempo and pushing the ball up court. As Troy Taylor has the ball at the top of the key. Looking to drive. Looks like he got hacked there by about 3 guys there. Good take there by Troy Taylor.
I was going to say, take your pick right there. Brandon Williams, Adam Wing, or Agidius Maxkevicius. Although, to be honest, I think Maxkevicius got all ball there and went straight up. I think it was either Wing or Williams who probably would have picked up the foul there.
That's Troy Taylor at the free throw line now. First one is good. So Team Orange now trailing by 1. 8-7 is the score, 1:27 remaining. Troy Taylor with 1 free throw to go. Shot on the way. And the second free throw is off the mark, as we're going to see Rokas check into the game and David Howard check into the game.
I think Coach Simmons is out of timeouts. He's only got a 30 left.
He's been doing a nice job of making sure that everybody's getting into the game and seeing the court and getting playing time and adjusting the lineups to see what works and what doesn't work. As Team Purple with the ball, Adam Wing looking to drive. Brandon Williams from the corner for 3. Off the mark, ball tipped up in the air. Rebounded by Brandon Williams. Good job falling. Ooh, good look there by Brandon Williams looking down low to David Howard, but Howard just couldn't keep his hands on as that ball goes in between his legs out of bounds, and Team Orange will get the ball back, trailing by 1 with just under a minute to play. Troy Taylor at the top of the key setting up the offense, gives it over to Mike Leitzer. Salvell with a good take, gives it back to Troy Taylor. Taylor with a little bit of a lazy pass there, gets tipped, and Team Purple with the ball now pushing it up court is Jordan Jarr. Jarr up top to Andy Chen. Chen swings it over to Brandon Williams, and Williams Looked like he took a couple steps there before putting that ball on the floor, and he gets called for the travel. So Team Orange will get the ball back, trailing 8-7 with 33.7 seconds remaining in this one.
Hopefully this isn't a foreshadowing. I mean, you like close games and everything like that, but we saw enough of our fair share of close games last year.
Yes, we did. A lot of buzzer
Evansville.
beaters and late ones, especially that we knew it was going to be in for a long season when that Butler game had everybody's hearts. We ended up coming out on top of that one, but a great game there at the end. It's Troy Taylor with a nice take on the baseline, and he gets hacked again, so he'll go to the free throw line shooting 2 with 12 seconds remaining in the inner squad.
Yeah, that game was a great way to break in the Ford Center, but that game also had way too much drama.
Way too much drama. As Butler thought they won the game, ended up not winning the game, and Evansville ended up closing it out, I believe, in double overtime. As Troy Taylor's first free throw is off the front of the rim.
I just remember going back, everyone, when they first saw it live, they thought Andrew Smith's layup at the end of regulation was good. Butler had won. But looking back on the tape, it was the correct call as the ball was still in the hand.
Yep. Troy Taylor sinks the second of 2 free throws, so it's 8-8 now. Team Purple with the ball. 3 seconds remaining.
Oh, Jordan.
And Jordan Jarr took a step before he put the ball down, so he gets called with a travel. 8-8. Team Orange will have the ball with 2.3 seconds remaining. I don't think we'll be going into overtime in this one. As Troy Taylor chucks it up from half court, and it's off the mark. So, again, another competitive game. 8-8 is the final.
I think they should have a half-court shootout between purple and orange to see who wins that one.
I think that'll do it for the Hoopfest event so far. So we got a good look at not only 2 inter-squad games with the Lady Aces and the Men's Aces, but we also got to see some crowd-pleasing events with the slam dunk contest, the dance-off at the beginning that we didn't know it was coming, and then also the three-point shootout. So overall, just a great night for not only the fans, but for the players and the coaches as well.
And that's really what it's all about, just trying to have a great night all the way around. The thing I'm sure both coaching staffs are excited about, not only did they get to see their team under the lights in front of the crowd here at the Ford Center, but more importantly, everyone came out healthy. And unfortunately, in the past, we haven't been able to say that. So it's good to see both sides come out healthy, and should be an exciting year for both the men and the women here this year at Evansville.
Yes, it should have. Again, a very exciting night here at the Ford Center as the basketball season is just right around the corner. Again, the men have their first exhibition game against Southern Indiana, October 27th. That game is at 7:05. And the Lady Aces have their first exhibition also against Southern Indiana, November 3rd at 12 o'clock p.m. So come out, support the Ladies Aces and the Men's Aces in both of these games. I think that'll do it for the 2012 Hoop Fest. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Pearson alongside Tom Benson. Thanks everybody for listening, and we hope to see you here at the Ford Center in the next couple weeks.